Hello there, my name's Franz. This is myboxingcoach.com. Short video. Few people have asked for a... It will be short because I've got not much to say really. I've been asked to do, by a number of people, to do a prediction for the upcoming Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor bout. So I thought I would. The last time I did a prediction one was Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Not really my thing, so I don't really do them that much, to be honest with you. But number of requests. So both guys, top of their sports, their respective sports. Both outspoken, both controversial. But how has the bout come about? Well, ultimately, money talks. When there's enough money put on the table, people can agree to all kinds of things. What I wanted to examine is does McGregor have a realistic chance of coming out on top in this bout? So let's look back at what Conor McGregor is. So he did some novice level boxing back in Ireland when he was sort of a teenager. The Irish amateur boxing system is second to none. The standard of coaching is impeccable. They regularly produce super high quality boxers. The club he was in, Crumlin, very good reputation, very good coaching setup. But ultimately he only boxed to the novice level. Now, when moving into a sport like MMA, that level of schooling will have stood him out amongst his peers in that sport. The question is, does that stand for anything in a boxing ring, and especially against someone like Mayweather? So for the last 10 or 12 years, McGregor has focused all his energy on training for MMA and gearing his style for MMA. For the last 30 years, Floyd Mayweather's done the same in boxing, from the US amateur boxing system right the way through. Don't need to list his achievements. So let's just think of it this way. They are two very different codes, very different sports. You know, there's similarities, but in many they are quite different. Conor McGregor expects to re-engineer his whole fighting style in a single 10-week training camp. What, to fight against one of the finest technicians the boxing ring has ever seen? Look, whether you like Mayweather or not, in terms of skill levels, he's just phenomenal against whatever style of opponent. I just don't see McGregor being able to re-engineer his whole fighting style in a 10-week camp to come close to Mayweather, to be honest with you. Prediction. I expect Mayweather to be extremely cruel. I think he made the mistake of trying to outsmart a street kid from Dublin in the previous press conferences and stuff. Look, he's never going to come close to outsmarting a kid like McGregor. You know, a street kid from Dublin, these speak fast and think twice as fast. They'll come out with some of the greatest put downs you've ever heard. He's just never going to win. And he wants to repay some of the humiliation that he will have felt at the hands of McGregor. So he wants to hurt and humiliate McGregor when they get in the ring. Some people are talking about the age of Mayweather. Look, he's 40, but he's always looked after himself. He's never ballooned weight in between fights. He's always lived clean. I'm not talking about his moral compass here, but he's an excellent athlete. I'd say his body, whilst his age may be 40, his body is that of someone in the early to mid 30s. His age is going to mean nothing. What happens when an individual is getting the crap beaten out of them is that they revert to form. Now, I think if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I think a disqualification is a real possibility. And potentially, you know, if McGregor can find some way of using some dubious arm locks, he could injure Mayweather, I think that's a less of a possibility, but I think a disqualification is a real possibility. If you're taking a hiding, you revert to form. You do what you know best to try and stop that hiding. That beating, hiding. So disqualification is a real problem. More likely, I think he'll just shut down. I think he will run out of ideas really quickly. And Mayweather will simply beat him post to post, and a referee will not stand by and watch that. So I expect relatively early rounds, as well as I think Mayweather would like to keep him on his feet for as long as he can, but I just don't see a referee allowing the kind of beating that I think is going to get handed out. Don't think people use this thing, oh, he's unpredictable, Conor McGregor, it's unpredictable. Okay, well, a few years back in the UK here, there was a fighter called Nazim Hamed, who was about as unpredictable as you're going to get in a boxing ring, did all kinds of bizarre things, punched quite hard, and that unpredictability bemused tons of opponents, lots of sort of average to decent level fighters. As soon as he fought against a genuine apex great fighter in Marcos Antonio Barrera, he just got absolutely smashed because Barrera had such skills. So unpredictability means nothing. Mayweather beats him really quite easily inside 6 rounds. Big anticlimax is my thoughts. In fact, I think any of the top 10 welterweights in the world would do the same to McGregor. Any of the top 10 welterweights. I don't think it's a fight. I think it's a fight between mouths as opposed to genuine comparable skills, simply because the sports are so different. He's excellent at MMA, will beat at MMA. Mayweather wouldn't dare get in a ring with him because he knows it's not his game. There's my thoughts on the fight. I'd like to hear your responses. Just produced a new book called The Beginner Boxer Toolkit. You can get it free. Click the link below and go to the site and sign up. Otherwise, I look forward to hearing your comments. Thanks.